Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm so excited to share some new words and phrases I've learned. They're seriously next level vocabulary that will make you sound so smart. People will be all, whoa, where did you learn that? And you can be like, oh, just expanding my horizons. Okay, I'm already so extra, let's just get into it. Okay, first up we have conviction. Now conviction is one of those words that can mean a lot of different things depending on the context. It's a powerful word, and it carries a lot of weight. When you hear the word conviction, you might immediately think of a courtroom, a judge, and a gavel. But there's so much more to it than that. And when I say conviction, I don't just mean someone getting found guilty in a courtroom drama, even though that is totally a thing. In the legal world, a conviction is a formal declaration that someone is guilty of a criminal offense. It's the result of a trial where evidence is presented, and a verdict is reached. The judge or jury decides that the person on trial is guilty, and that decision is called a conviction. But let's move beyond the courtroom for a moment. Conviction is all about, really believing in something. It's about having a strong belief or opinion that you hold on to firmly. When you have conviction, you're not easily swayed or influenced by others. You stand your ground and stick to your beliefs no matter what. When you're just this is it, this is the truth. It's that feeling of certainty and confidence in what you believe. It's when you know deep down in your heart that you're right, and you're willing to stand up for it, even if it means facing opposition or criticism. Conviction is what drives people to take action and make a difference in the world. She spoke with such conviction about climate change, everyone was shook. When someone speaks with conviction, their words have power. They can inspire and motivate others to take action. It's not just about what they say, but how they say it. The passion and determination in their voice can move people and create change. It's about having that fire in your belly, That burning desire to make a difference and stand up for what you believe in. Conviction is what keeps you going, even when things get tough. It's that inner strength and determination that pushes you to keep fighting for what you believe in, no matter the obstacles. But also, it's a legal term. In the legal context, a conviction is a serious matter. It can have long-lasting consequences for the person who is convicted. It can affect their future, their reputation, and their ability to move forward in life. A conviction can be a turning point, a moment that changes everything. He received a conviction for robbery. This means that he was found guilty of committing a crime, and now he has to face the consequences. A conviction can lead to imprisonment, fines, and a permanent criminal record. It's a serious matter that can impact a person's life in many ways. So conviction, it's intense, whether we're talking beliefs or actual crimes, whether it's the conviction of a criminal in a courtroom or the conviction of someone standing up for their beliefs. It's a powerful force. It's what drives people to take action, to stand up for what they believe in, and to make a difference in the world. Conviction is about having the courage to stand up for what you believe in, no matter the cost. It's about being true to yourself and your beliefs and never backing down. Next up we have gloss over the truth. It's something that, whether we like to admit it or not, we've all done at some point in our lives. It's a natural human tendency to want to present ourselves in the best possible light, even if that means bending the truth a little. And let's be real, we've all done this at some point. Maybe it was during a casual conversation with friends where you didn't want to seem like the odd one out, so you exaggerated a story just a bit to fit in. Or perhaps it was during a job interview where you wanted to impress the interviewer, so you stretched the truth about your previous job responsibilities. It's basically when you try to make something sound way better than it actually is. You might be talking about a project at work that didn't go as planned, but instead of admitting it was a failure, you highlight the few minor successes to make it seem like it was a win. Remember that time you totally bombed that test and told your parents it was just a little quiz? You didn't want to face their disappointment, so you downplayed the significance of the test. It's a classic example of glossing over the truth. Yeah, that's glossing over the truth. It's a way to avoid uncomfortable situations or to protect ourselves from judgment. We might not even realize we're doing it because it can become such a habitual response. Or when a company is all, oh, our profits are down just a tad, but really they're about to go bankrupt. Companies often use this tactic to maintain investor confidence and avoid panic. They might use vague language or focus on future potential rather than current struggles. Glossing over the truth, big time. It's a strategy used in various aspects of life, from personal relationships to professional settings. It's about managing perceptions and controlling the narrative. It's basically just a fancy way of saying sugarcoating. We add a little sweetness to the truth to make it more palatable. But it's important to remember that while glossing over the truth might make things easier in the short term, it can lead to bigger problems down the line if the full truth eventually comes out. So next time you find yourself tempted to gloss over the truth, take a moment to consider the potential consequences. Honesty might be harder in the moment, but it builds trust and integrity in the long run. And that's something worth striving for. Okay, get ready to sound super sophisticated because this next one is a mouthful, at the behest of. This phrase is one of those that can instantly elevate your language, making you sound like you just stepped out of a classic novel or a historical drama. It's not something you hear every day, but when you do, it definitely catches your attention. It basically means you're doing something because someone important, like, asked you to. But it's more than just a simple request, it carries a weight of authority and importance. When you do something at the behest of someone, you're not just doing it because they asked nicely. You're doing it because there's a sense of duty or obligation involved. Think of it like this. Your boss comes up to you and is all, "Hey, I need you to work late tonight." Now, you could just say you're working late because your boss asked you to, but saying you're working late at the behest of your boss adds a layer of formality and seriousness to the situation. It implies that there's a significant reason behind the request, and that you're fulfilling an important duty. You're doing it at the behest of your boss. This isn't just about staying late, it's about meeting a critical need or expectation. Maybe there's a big project deadline, or perhaps there's an important client meeting the next day. Whatever the reason, your boss's request carries weight, and you're responding to that. Or like, imagine a king in medieval times being all, "Fetch me my finest mead, peasant." In this scenario, the king's command isn't just a casual ask. It's an order that must be followed, and the peasant understands the gravity of the situation. The king's authority is absolute, and the peasant's actions are a direct response to that authority. That peasant is totally fetching that mead at the behest of the king. The phrase captures the essence of the power dynamics at play. The king's word is law, and the peasant's duty is to comply. It's a vivid illustration of how the phrase can convey a sense of command and obedience. It's a fancy way of saying because of or on the orders of, but it's more than just a synonym. It adds a layer of sophistication and gravity to the action. Using "at the behest of" can make your language sound more polished and authoritative. So next time you want to impress someone with your vocabulary, remember this phrase. It's a small addition to your lexicon, but it can make a big impact, whether you're writing an essay, giving a speech, or just trying to sound a bit more refined in conversation. "At the behest of" is a great tool to have in your linguistic arsenal. It shows that you understand the nuances of language and can use it to convey deeper meanings. So go ahead, give it a try, and see how it transforms your communication. And remember, language is a powerful tool. The words you choose can shape how others perceive you and how effectively you can convey your message. By incorporating phrases like "at the behest of," you're not just adding words to your vocabulary, you're enhancing your ability to communicate with clarity and sophistication. So, the next time you find yourself in a situation where you need to express that you're doing something because someone important asked you to, don't just say it plainly. Say it with a touch of elegance and authority. Say it at the behest of. Chapter 4. Agony and Indignity. Talk about a bad day. Okay, buckle up because this next phrase is heavy agony and indignity. Like, just saying it makes me feel like emotionally drained. Agony is pretty self-explanatory, right? It's like intense pain, whether it's physical or emotional. And indignity is like when someone disrespects you or humiliates you. So agony and indignity is like the ultimate combo of feeling terrible. Imagine like tripping and falling in public and then having someone film it and put it online. That's like agony and indignity right there. Chapter 5. For want of resources. The struggle is real. Next up, we have for want of resources. This one is kind of a bummer because it basically means you can't do something awesome because you don't have the stuff to do it. Like, imagine you want to start a band but you don't have any instruments, a practice space, or like any musical talent whatsoever. That's failing for want of resources. Or like, you want to bake a cake but you're all out of flour, sugar, and eggs. Major want of resources situation. Okay, this next one is a classic, the best laid plans. It's basically saying that no matter how much you plan something out, life can still throw you a curveball. Like, you can plan the perfect picnic, but then it suddenly starts pouring rain. Best laid plans, am I right? Or like, you can study for weeks for a test, but then you totally blank on everything. Life just does its own thing, you know? It's a good reminder to not get too attached to our plans because things change. Alright, let's talk about grapples, and no, I'm not talking about the things wrestlers use to grab onto each other. Grapples can mean physically struggling with something, but it can also mean mentally wrestling with a problem. You can grapple with a heavy suitcase, or you can grapple with a tough decision. It's all about putting in the effort to deal with something challenging. Okay, last but not least, we have the epitome of everything gracious. This one is the ultimate compliment you can give someone. It means someone is the perfect example of kindness, elegance, and good manners. Imagine someone who's always polite, always knows the right thing to say, and always makes everyone feel comfortable in any situation. That's the epitome of everything gracious. It's like goals, honestly. So there you have it. 8 new words and phrases to totally up your vocabulary game. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned something new. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future vocabulary adventures. And be sure to let me know in the comments which word or phrase was your favorite. Okay, bye.